Listening section directions. This test measures your ability to understand conversations and lectures in English. The listening section is divided into two separate timed parts. You will hear each conversation or lecture only one time. After each conversation or lecture, you will answer some questions on it. The questions typically ask about the main idea and supporting details. Some questions ask about a speaker's purpose or attitude. Answer the questions based on what is stated or implied by the speakers. You may take notes while you listen. You may use your notes to help you answer the questions. Notes will not be scored. In some questions, you will see this icon. This means that you will hear, but not see. Part of the question. Some of the questions have special directions. These directions appear in a gray box on the screen. Most questions are worth 1 point. If a question is worth more than 1 point, it will have special directions that indicate how many points you can receive. You must answer each question. After you answer, click on Next, then click on OK to confirm your answer and go on to the next question. After you click on OK, you cannot return to previous questions. In an actual test or during this practice test, a clock at the top of the screen will show you how much time is remaining. The clock will not count down while you are listening. The clock will count down only while you are answering questions. Click on Continue at any time to dismiss these directions.
Listen to a conversation between a student and a counselor at the University Counseling Center.
Hi, Dr. Lee. I'm not sure where to start, but I've been feeling pretty overwhelmed lately.
Hi, Sarah. It's completely understandable to feel that way. Adjusting to university life can be challenging. Tell me more about what's been overwhelming you.
Well, everything feels so different from high school. The workload is much heavier, and I'm constantly worried about keeping up. I miss my friends and family back home, and I haven't really made any new friends here yet. I feel like I'm just going through the motions, not really enjoying anything.
It sounds like you're experiencing a lot of changes and anxieties. Homesickness and social isolation are very common experiences for new students. Have you tried joining any clubs or activities to meet new people?
I've tried a few things, but nothing really clicked. I feel like everyone else already has their friend groups, and I'm just an outsider.
It can take time to find your niche, especially in a large university. Have you reached out to your classmates or roommates? Sometimes building friendships starts with small interactions over shared interests.
I guess I haven't really tried that. I often just stay in my dorm room studying or watching TV.
It's important to remember that taking care of your mental and physical health is just as important as academics. Are you getting enough sleep and eating healthy foods?
To be honest, I haven't been sleeping well lately. I often stay up late cramming for exams, and then I can fall asleep because I'm so anxious about everything.
It sounds like you might be caught in a negative cycle. Sleep deprivation can worsen anxiety, making it harder to cope with stress and perform well academically. Perhaps establishing a regular sleep schedule and relaxation techniques could help.
I'd like to try that. Do you have any suggestions?
Definitely. We can talk about some sleep hygiene practices and relaxation techniques like deep breathing or mindfulness meditation. Remember, you're not alone in this. The university offers many resources to support students, from the counseling center to academic support services.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lee. I feel a little more hopeful already.
You're welcome, Sarah. It's important to reach out for help when you need it. We're here to support you and guide you through this transition.
What is the main topic of Sarah's conversation with Dr. Lee? According to Sarah, what is one aspect of university life that she finds challenging? What does Dr. Lee suggest when he asks Sarah if she has reached out to her classmates or roommates? Why does Dr. Lee bring up the importance of taking care of mental and physical health? What can be inferred about the university's approach to supporting students based on Dr. Lee's statements?
Listen to part of a lecture in a sociology class. Hi everyone, today we're going to talk about how information moves around in our communities. Think about the latest news everyone's talking about, the newest fashion trend, or even the rumor you heard in your dorm last week. How does this stuff go from one person to another, affecting what we think and do?
Professor, does information spread differently depending on what it is? Like, do rumors spread faster than science stuff?
Great question, Sarah. Definitely. The type of information is really important. Gossip or things that matter to our daily lives, like traffic updates, can spread really quickly through our friends and social media. But complicated or scientific stuff might need specific groups or communities to get around. Now, let's understand this process. First, we have people or actors, the dots in our network. These are the folks sharing and getting information. Then, we have the connections between them, the lines that connect them. These connections can be weak, like someone you barely know, or strong, like a close friend or family member. How strong and frequent these connections are really affects how information moves. Networks with lots of strong connections, like close groups of friends, can be like fast roads for information. But networks with weak and infrequent connections can slow down or stop information. Another important thing is the message itself. Some information, like exciting news or funny jokes, naturally gets shared a lot. Think of how memes spread on social media, but boring or complex stuff might need extra reasons or convincing to get shared. Now, not just at the individual level, there are bigger network structures that shape how information flows. Think of formal groups like companies or government offices. Information often moves through a chain, from the top down. But informal groups, like friend circles or online communities, can create other paths for information to move without going through official channels. Knowing these things is important for many reasons. In advertising, it helps aim campaigns the right way. In public health, understanding how diseases spread helps with control and prevention. And in social movements, looking at communication networks helps get people involved and spread messages. So, next time you see information spreading quickly or struggling to get noticed, remember there's a whole network behind it. It's like a mix of people, connections, content, and structures that decides how information moves, not just in our lives but in our whole society.
What is the main topic of Professor Evans' discussion? According to Professor Evans, what type of information can spread quickly through social networks? Why does Professor Evans mention connections in the discussion? What can be inferred about the role of informal networks in information flow? What is the likely outcome of information spreading in densely connected networks? What does Professor Evans mean by network structures?
Listen to part of a lecture in an astronomy class.
Good morning, class. 53 years ago, the world watched as humans first set foot on the moon. Buzz Aldrin's famous descent left a lasting mark on history. But why haven't we gone back? Today we'll discuss reasons supporting another moon mission for science, jobs, and inspiring future exploration.
Professor, going back to the moon seems repetitive. Haven't we learned everything already?
That's an important question, Liam. While past missions taught us a lot, there's much more to discover. We explored only a small part. Picture hidden ice-filled holes with possible tiny life, or volcanic remains telling us about our solar system's start. Every return reveals new mysteries, expanding what we know. Besides curiosity, the moon challenges us to create better technology. Its tough conditions without air and water make us invent things for resource extraction, life support, and shielding from radiation. These technologies, made for moon living, could change how we live on Earth and help us explore Mars and beyond. But it's not just about science and tech. Think of a growing moon economy. Picture mining useful stuff like helium-3, vital for clean nuclear energy on Earth. Envision space travel for tourists, offering amazing moon views and starting a new age of exploration. The moon can boost our economy, make jobs, and inspire future generations to dream big. The most important reason is our daring spirit. Going back isn't repeating the past, it's going beyond. It's about challenging what's possible, showing our never-ending curiosity and the desire to discover. It's about motivating a new group of scientists, engineers, and dreamers to aim for the stars. So, even if some see another moon trip as nostalgic, I encourage you to see it as a bold move toward a better future. It's an investment in learning, progress, and human boldness. It's a chance to make our mark on the moon again and continue the incredible story of cosmic exploration. Let's not just remember the moon. Let's plan to go back and stay for a while.
What is the main focus of the lecture? According to Professor Miller, what challenges does the moon present for technology? Listen again to part of the lecture. Then answer the question.
Every return reveals new mysteries, expanding what we know.
What does Professor Miller mean when he says,
Every return reveals new mysteries?
why does Professor Miller discuss the moon's economic potential? What is the likely outcome of advancements in technology for moon living, according to the lecture? What can be inferred about the speaker's view on another moon mission?
Listen to a conversation between a student and a professor. Come in, come in. Please, Maya, do have a seat.
Thank you, Professor Lee. I hope I'm not taking up your time unnecessarily.
Of course not, Maya. You emailed about concerns regarding your enrollment in my advanced genetics course. Is everything all right?
Well, it's not exactly not all right, but I guess I'm having some second farts. Your course sounds fascinating, truly groundbreaking, but I don't know, maybe I'm not quite cut out for it.
I understand your apprehension. Advanced genetics is demanding, it delves into the cutting edge of the field. But Maya, I remember you in my introductory class. Your curiosity was boundless, your questions insightful. You have a real knack for unraveling the complexities of life.
Thank you, Professor. It means a lot coming from you. But the syllabus mentions CRISPR editing, gene sequencing, even nanorobots. I honestly feel a bit overwhelmed.
It's natural to feel that way, especially when venturing into uncharted territory. But remember, that's where learning truly thrives. We push beyond our comfort zones, stumble, try again, and eventually, the pieces click into place. And in this journey, you're not alone.
I know I have classmates, study groups, but it's different facing something so challenging head-on. What if I fall behind, struggle to grasp the concepts?
Maya, falling behind is part of the learning process. It's not a sign of weakness, but an opportunity to learn differently, seek help, and refine your understanding. My door is always open, and my passion for genetics is contagious. I won't let any student fall through the cracks.
Professor Lee, you do make it sound less daunting. Maybe I'm focusing too much on the what-ifs and not enough on the what could be.
Precisely. Think of the thrill of unlocking the secrets of life, of contributing to groundbreaking research. Think of the satisfaction of overcoming every challenge, building your confidence along the way. Isn't that worth a little discomfort?
You're right, Professor. I owe it to myself to try to push my boundaries. I might just surprise myself.
I have no doubt you will, Maya. Now, let's grab that syllabus and tackle your first concern. Together, we can turn those what-ifs into resounding I dids.
What is the main topic of the conversation between Maya and Professor Lee? According to Maya, what aspects of the advanced genetics course make her feel overwhelmed? Why does Professor Lee mention CRISPR editing, gene sequencing, and nanorobots? What does Professor Lee mean when he says,
And in this journey, you're not alone.
what can be inferred about Maya's decision at the end of the conversation?
Listen to part of a lecture in a chemistry class.
Spectroscopy is like a super cool tool that helps us see things we can't normally see. We use special kinds of energy, like light or sound, to look inside molecules. It's like detectives figuring out a secret code. And guess what? This molecular language can help solve problems in different areas, like medicine and the environment.
Professor, I like the idea of seeing molecules, but is it just theoretical stuff? How can something so abstract be useful in everyday life?
Great question, Maria. Let's talk about art authentication. Imagine a super valuable painting that might be fake. Spectroscopy can check the colors used and tell us their chemical makeup and age. If the colors don't match the historical time, then it's a fake. It's like a chemistry detective story. In medicine, spectroscopy is like a hero. It can look at blood samples and find small changes that show diseases like diabetes or cancer. Finding problems early means treating them early and maybe saving lots of lives. That's the power of chemistry in action. And don't forget the environment. Picture a river with unknown pollution. Spectroscopy can figure out the specific molecules causing the pollution, find where it's coming from, and help clean it up. Clean water, happy ecosystems, and a healthier planet. All thanks to understanding molecules. And there's even more. From studying the chemicals in stars far away to making sure our food is good, spectroscopy is everywhere. It's like a translator for the language of molecules, giving us tons of information every time we use it. So, next time you see water, a cool painting, or the night sky, remember that there's a hidden dance of molecules inside. Spectroscopy, this awesome tool, is out there, listening to their secrets and turning them into solutions for a better world. Get ready, class, because today we're going to start using our own spectrometers and learn to speak the language of molecules.
What is the main purpose of spectroscopy according to Professor Thompson? According to Professor Thompson, how does spectroscopy authenticate paintings? What does Professor Thompson imply when he refers to spectroscopy as a chemistry detective story? Why does Professor Thompson mention art authentication in the middle of the lecture? What is the likely outcome of using spectroscopy to analyze polluted rivers? What can be inferred about the impact of spectroscopy on the environment?